The VMAX has won its place in a lot of hearts and minds of people, and it's a really unique bike just straight off the lot. But there are some things you can do to make it a little bit more suitable for riding in every scenario, not just in a straight line. So today we're going to be breaking down some of the best and some of the worst mods so you don't go spending thousands of dollars on things that are just going to make your riding experience not as fun.
First thing that most people are going to recommend is upgrading the rear shocks. The rear shocks are notoriously soft on all of the VMAX, all of the first gen VMAX models. The front end, obviously you're going to want to do eventually as well, but I would start with the rear. You can do this pretty easily and pretty cheaply. You can throw on some progressive shocks. We'll throw some links in the description below for some suitable upgrades, but that's going to be number one. Upgrade your rear suspension. I do recommend the progressive shocks. There's some other options available that might be a little pricier. We'll throw some links in there for those as well.
Yeah, and I believe with the front suspension, you can do a whole swap out on there. If you're just doing it every now and then on the weekend and you're not doing anything crazy, you could probably avoid
Yeah, if this is just a weekend toy, it's probably not tremendously necessary. But if you want to daily the VMAX, if you really want to enjoy it, again, what you said, on some mountain roads, as it's often meant to be ridden, not just in a straight line, I do also recommend upgrading the front forks as well. And as you mentioned, some people will go to the trouble to upgrade the entire front forks, triples, everything all together, and also along with that, the brakes as well. And that is something that's very popular to do, probably a little bit higher on the complexity end, though not impossible for anyone who can turn a wrench. It's going to cost a little bit more. If you want to be a little bit economical, you could always do two things. First, if you have, I believe it's a 92 or earlier VMAX, you can upgrade to the 43 millimeter forks from the later VMAX models. So they went from 40 millimeters from like 87 to 92, and then after 93, they upgraded to 43 millimeter forks. That's going to help a little bit, but what really is going to be the game changer is completely disassembling those forks, putting in some stiffer springs in the front suspension. It had inverted forks. I mean, somebody went all the way. I bought it like that. I didn't have to do the swap myself, thankfully. Hey, if you find one with this, go ahead and snag it. Hopefully it's a good price for you.
Yeah, and if you probably only plan to keep it for a little bit, maybe be a little more hesitant with some of these, because it's not really going to increase the price dramatically. You're not going to make your money back if you're looking to sell it in a few months.
Yeah, I mean, that's the classic, like, you don't get your money out of your mods.
Yeah. Keeping with handling, stability, and all that, you can also go into a wider wheel, but it's not really the wheel itself.
Yeah, on some of the older VMAXs, it was a very unusual rear wheel size, and so it was difficult to find modern tire sizes for the older style rear wheel. But if you do have the older style rear wheel and you do not have a radial tire, that is definitely going to be, I mean, anything that's between you and the road, that's the first thing that touches, the road itself is going to be the rubber. So tire upgrades definitely going to be real top of the list. Top of the list.
Yeah, and we're actually going to be talking about a rim and how you can actually go too wide, and that doesn't solve the issue that the radial tire does with this mod here. And I think lastly for handling, we've got a stabilizer on the front end.
Yes.
Again, this is going to help with the wobble, but why don't you jump into it?
Steering dampener or steering stabilizer. Man, this is probably, this might actually be more important than tires. And I know that sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, if you haven't ridden one real hard, that wobble can come on at highway speeds real quick, and the front end can get very light. And again, if you have the stock suspension, you're more than likely going to see that happen, or feel that happen, I should say. You can get a steering dampener for a few $100s. It is worth every penny if it saves you just one time. So this is a bike. There's many out there that I don't feel like it's quite necessary. This is one where I would strongly recommend it.
Yeah, I've been in the comments about the VMAX because we posted a review about it, and then a bunch of people were commenting on some reels and shorts that we were doing, and time again I heard people say first that around that 140 is when you start to hit the wobble, but then I also started hearing that if you haven't ridden a bike like this before, something that accelerates and has so much power behind it, that it creeps up on you really, really fast.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's not so much of a ease into that 140. It's like you kind of jump into it and you're not ready for that shock effect from the V-boost.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. And I mean, it is very unsettling. That is the most unsettling thing about the VMAX is it makes 140 horsepower. And it made 140 horsepower in 1991. Like, that's
right.
absurd. Because you had all this power, but with like late 80s suspension technology.
Right.
So you were really dragging behind the times. The suspension and brakes had not caught up to the power that the VMAX was making. And so, that's why this is so important.
Yeah, unless you just want a terrifying riding experience. It's kind of like a brute behind it.
I'm behind that.
Yeah.
If all you want is to scare the crap out of yourself or your friends.
Okay, now we're getting into if you plan to ride it for a little bit longer trips. You can get a little bit uncomfortable on the stock seat.
Yeah, the VMAX seat is famously, the OEM seat is famously not comfortable at all. If you're going to spend more than an hour on this bike, just save your back, save your lower back, save your butt the trouble, and just go ahead and upgrade that rear seat.
There are a couple upgrades with the VMAX that are going to be a little bit more situational. Somebody at my height, I'm around 5'9", 5'10", you're not really going to have to worry about the seating position or anything like that. But once you get a little bit taller, there are some people who are like in the 6'3", 6'4" range who really want to ride a VMAX, and they have to go to a couple extra links to make it a little bit more comfortable. So they're getting some aftermarket foot pegs so they can sit a little bit more comfortable with that. And
if you're probably in the 6 foot range, it's probably when you want to start looking into some aftermarket forward controls that are going to move them a few inches further forward and really make that a little bit more comfortable. If you're 6'2", 6'3", you're really gonna start getting close to looking a little bit like a monkey on a bicycle. Yeah, so the most important thing, I know I feel like I've said that 3 times, but there's so many really important things. In my opinion, after the steering stabilizer, after your steering dampener is taken care of, just go ahead and get yourself an exhaust. If you have the factory exhaust, it's fine, whatever. Just chop it off, get rid of it, throw it away, and find yourself something like a 4-to-1. I'm partial to the Super Trap exhaust or Voodoo exhaust. Sounds absolutely amazing. I'm not going to say any, but literally every single VMAX exhaust that I've listened to has been absolutely amazing. There is something about a V4 engine, the firing order, it just sounds absolutely menacing. And so just throw the stock exhaust away.
with it being such a brute of a motorcycle, I feel like it needs the sound and the exhaust to back it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is one of those that there's some guys out there on their little bikes that are making, every Harley's out there with 65 horsepower with pipes that are loud enough to, cause you to go deaf from 3 states over. So they can't back it up with the horsepower. But this is a bike where it's like, yeah, okay, that's really loud. Makes 145 horsepower. Kind of feel like it should be loud.
Is there anything you want to watch out for when you're putting on an exhaust? Maybe something with tuning it?
It is not easy. It is definitely one of the more. I'll say this: if it is a full exhaust, which is probably what you should get, it is going to be exceptionally challenging. It will help a lot to have a lift. Just know you're going to have to take a lot of stuff off, particularly to get to the rear header. But it's worth it. It's worth it. It'll be a project, but it's worth it. I promise.
Now, I know with some bikes, like tuning it doesn't really, after you swap out the exhaust, isn't like a huge deal. How does that play in with the VMAX?
You are definitely going to want to get it tuned properly. You're going to want to have it jetted properly. This is a bike that's going to benefit from having an aftermarket exhaust. You want to take full advantage of it. So it's worth taking the time to match up your exhaust and intake with the appropriate jetting. We're getting into the weeds a little bit. You can quickly, but for those that know, it'll take a little bit of research, take a little bit of time, but it's well worth the effort.
Right. So that kind of pairs well with the mods that don't matter. Something you shouldn't really look in too much is if you're going to put an exhaust on it and not do the tuning, just might as well not.
Yeah, if you are going to go that route, you just want to be able to be a little bit louder, just do the slip-ons. It'll be a little bit louder. It won't destroy your tune. But if you're going to go to the trouble to invest in a full exhaust, go to the trouble, make sure it's tuned and running properly.
Exactly. And then another thing that you want to avoid that I hinted at earlier was that you can get a wider wheel, get the radial tires on there, but people have thrown on like 240 rims and just to make it look really chunky in the back.
Okay, so this is where we're going to disagree because I happen to love an extended swing arm and a giant fat tire off the back end of a VMAX. Yes, I know it ruins the handling. You can't turn. You know, your turning radius goes from like 15 feet to 75 feet. Yes. I know all these things. Like, it's not as much fun in the mountains, blah, blah, blah. Like, I get it. I just think it looks so cool and so appropriate for this particular bike. So the kits are tremendously expensive. I think they just look so cool. I think they're worth every penny. Just know it's going to ruin everything else about the bike.
Yeah.
But it looks so cool.
Right.
So the 5-year-old
it looks good.
Is going to love it.
If you're taking it on the track, it's great.
Sure.
Yeah, if you want to do daily riding with it, I don't know. I'd avoid it.
If you have a 240 on your VMAX and you're watching this video, I want to freaking see it.
Send
I say a 240, but literally anything wider than stock. I don't care.
The other thing, this is completely personal opinion. Yes. I think the VMAX looked really good when it came out. I liked the overall look for it.
It's good.
I don't know why you have to throw on a bunch of extra overly cosmetic pieces to make something that looks so classic, so original, and then make it into something that looks modern or even alien.
Yeah, so thankfully there's not a lot of companies out there producing stuff to do this, but there are individuals who will go to the end of the earth to come up with some of the most obtuse and out of touch cosmetic modifications to the VMAX as possible. And the thing that I'll throw in here with that is oftentimes they'll do it with rattle can paint as well. So please, if you're going to paint your motorcycle, please take, oh God, just forego painting it. If you're going to do it improperly, forego any sort of cosmetic modifications. There's enough people that have ruined these out there. Don't be another one. That's it.
Don't be one of those.
Don't be one.
Last thing isn't so much a don't do this, but it's putting power before handling. Like you said earlier, your first mod should really be a steering dampener. Focus on that because that's the biggest lacking portion of the VMAX is just the handling. It's got a ton of power. You can add more power to it, but just maybe correct its biggest flaw there before you try to push what it's already good at.
Yeah. That's enough talking. Get off the couch and go buy VMAX.